Chapter 15 to 16. Finally, the stupid engine is fixed. So much oil leaked out that we had to get more, and someone is a stupid hermit. Bulma had short shorts and a tank top on her that she picked up from her house when getting supplies for the plane. That's the reason why you asked to borrow the spinning turtle baby Gamera. You know I have a submarine that you could have borrowed oil from. Rashi was currently twirling his stache while goggling Bulma like he was inspecting her. That didn't last long as she hit him over the head, making a huge shiny bump appear on his already shiny head. Bulma's head magically got bigger as she berated Rashi. You could have told us that sooner instead of watching that yoga show, you pervert. Well, the plane is working now. Did you forget that it's only Goku that is going for those maniacs? If we don't hurry, no matter how strong he is, he will die. Chi-Chi was having a mental breakdown worrying about Goku. She was pacing back and forth the entire time. She was stressing out because she was useless in the process of fixing the airplane. When Bulma left to go get the oil, Krillin brought Yamcha over in his rowboat so that he could train under Master Rashi. Of course, like the loyal dog, sorry cat that Poir was, he also came with Yamcha. Chi-Chi informed them of the situation and they instantly agreed to help out. Then instantly left to join Rashi in watching the yoga show, making Chi-Chi question why her current life. I know Goku is strong, but this is reckless even for him. Krillin was snacking on leftover popcorn that they made while trying to fit in the cramped airplane. His face was getting smushed by a large sports bag that had a rough texture. He had an annoyed expression on his face as it was drilling into his bald head. Launch, why did you pack so much ammunition? Couldn't you do less? Less. Launch pointed the submachine gun from over the bag to the bald monk's forehead. We are actually going to war with the largest army in the world and you want less. You aren't from the criminal world, but they are in even the toughest criminal's nightmare. Even you? As soon as he finished speaking, the gun filled even deeper into his head, making him sweat buckets onto the floor of the plane. I don't fear anyone. Got it, Baldy? Krillin turned pale white and slowly nodded his head as everyone on the plane simultaneously agreed in their head to not mess with Launch. Ever. I repeat. A little kid on a flying cloud is shooting lasers at us. We need reinforcement. The caller on the other side suddenly lost connection. The phone was on speaker in the middle of a room surrounded by people in uniform. One person couldn't hold it in anymore and burst out laughing on top of his lungs. Once he did it, all the so-called tension in the room disappeared and everyone started laughing. Man, what is with his joke? Station 7 is getting worse and worse every year. I guess the absurdity of the joke made it funny. I know, right? Seriously? A kid flying on a cloud shooting lasers? Who is going to believe that? Tom could make a better joke than that, and his soul was already sucked in by his wife. You got to admit though, them disconnecting at the end was pretty good. They would have to smash the phone in order to disconnect like that. Sucks to be the one to report that to Commander Black. Everyone sighed at the same time, getting a good laugh at Station 7's antics. All the guards in the room started to discuss what to prank to pull next until someone barged into a room looking frantic. We just spotted a little kid on a cloud coming towards us. Someone from Station 7 survived their annihilation and told us of this threat. Everyone looked at each other confused. Station 7 was really telling the truth? That's impossible. They have fully grown men with years of life ventured. How could a little kid end their life and career like they were worthless ants? Before the main HQ's guards could process the information and get into their defensive positions, the entire base was rocketed by an explosion. Everyone started to scramble around in their positions before another explosion occurred above them. The ceiling started to fall down on them, burying them in rubble to be forgotten by everyone. Above the HQ, Goku was just throwing keyball after keyball at the buildings that are in his sights. He was even doing a finger gun like a video game, totally indifferent to the enemy's lives as he reaped one after another. He learned how to do keyballs during the week that he was free in Bulma's house. Waiting for the gravity chamber, he learned in the inner workings of the Kamehameha more and finally was able to learn how to manipulate ki independently without the need of a fixed structure like the Kamehameha. Key blast after key blast, he finally reached the main building. After killing the waves of literally cannon fodder with each punch, he finally made it to a lobby. Entering the elevator, he pressed the button that led him to the top floor. Listening to the elevator music, he started to really think about his life as Goku so far. As 13, only 3 more years before he turned 16. The age that he died when he was still Kris. And soon after that, he would live longer as Goku than he did as Kris. Moving past his possible existential crisis, he finally arrived at the top floor. He felt sad that he was leaving the relaxing elevator music, but there were more important things to do, like pressing the bottom floor button to hear the relaxing music once more. After going up and down several times, he officially arrived on the top floor before a tall, muscular black man. He had a vein popping out of his head as he squeezed out the words that were on the tip of his tongue. You sure took your time, didn't you? He looked like he was about to burst. In fact, if he held it any longer, he surely would have an aneurysm. Yeah, you could say that my experience was elevating with every press of the button. That was the final straw as Commander Black lunged at Goku with a killing intent that literally covered the entire world. If he didn't release his rage, he would die from overload. However, all the bravado came to a stop as Goku put his fist through his chest. His fist came out the other side coated in a velvet liquid. He pulled back from the sticky situation and started to wipe the blood off his hand with Commander Black's suit. It's not like he was going to use it anymore. He looked up and saw Commander Black's indignant face at the fate of himself and the organization that he basically built. It all ended with one pubescent child. Leaving the man to his peaceful and unregretful life, Goku took out the machine from Commander Black's capsule inside his pocket. He took the rocket from it and when he got high enough, decimated the rest of the HQ. Strangely enough, he never encountered a certain cyborg/android making scientists throughout his whole trip. Arriving near the base, the Dragon crew milled out of the plane and started up a plane. Bulma was the first to suggest an idea. I got a plan. Ready? We use oolong as bait, you know? Maybe they are in the mood for roasted pig dash. Objection. After careful planning and coordination, the Council of Idiots officially came to an all-out brawl on how to handle the most powerful army on Earth. Soon enough, Por spotted a flying cloud in the air, as if clouds already didn't fly. Everyone did the standard procedure. They tucked and rolled. In the air, Goku questioned the sanity of the people before him. Hey guys, it's me. Everyone stopped and looked up. They all felt like they were in a dream when Goku came back alive from the gauntlet. Everyone was pestering him and congratulating him on the achievement, that he was done. To shut them up, he poured out the Dragon Balls that he had on his pouch to the floor. Wow, so these are the Dragon Balls. They, look mystical? Yamcha and the rest picked up a Dragon Ball to inspect it. This was their first time seeing such a powerful object. Each Dragon Ball was taken with astute curiosity. As I said earlier, there are only 6 Dragon Balls? Bulma? Yeah, this is strange, the radar doesn't show it on screen. It probably means that the last one is eaten or something. Eaten? So what now? Do we need for nature to take its course? Let nature take its course? Do we even need to summon the dragon? What would everyone wish for? Right now, everyone's life was going well. No problem that an eternal dragon should fix. Well, if it's a problem that you are talking about, I would actually like a big brie dash. All 3 girls in the party whacked Oolong over the head for the comment. When they saw Rashi also have a perverted face, they also beat him until his face was unrecognizable. So no one has any wishes? I would like to make a wish. It's about more information about my race. Bulma studied Goku a bit before answering him. Fine, I know you are trustworthy. We might as well get the last one since we have the other 6. It's just, how would we find the last one? Well, I know someone who can track it for us. Bulma gave Rashi the face that makes him rethink any decision to talk to her at all. Her name is Fortune Teller Baba. She can divine the object that one seeks. She would be able to find the Dragon Ball no matter where it is. Fortune telling? Will it work? Bulma was looking very skeptical. With her science nature, it was very hard to believe that fortune-telling magic actually existed. But a monkey kid that can grow to a 15-foot giant is possible, so what isn't? Of course it will work. She is my sister after all. In an abandoned basement, a tall lanky man was dragging a short stubby older gentleman through his arms. Why are you doing this? Goku will come and get you. You saw how strong he is. When Goku's name was mentioned, the lanky man shivered from the horror that name brings. I didn't mean for this to happen. That monster was too powerful. Why you say that he will come for me and kill me when he sees that I have a hold of you. But he will already come for me after what I already did. So instead of you being another cause for him to kill me, you are now a chance for me to live as long as I have you hostage. You be *starred. You will not get away with this. My daughter and Goku will remember me and you will suffer a horrible death. Meanwhile, back to the Dragon crew. I can't help but feel like I am missing something. Goku looked around to make sure everything is accounted for. He couldn't shake the uneasy feeling but chalked it up to the threats that he still feels unprepared for. Everyone climbed back onto the plane while Chi-Chi and hopped on with Goku to make more space on the plane. Traveling for a couple of hours was mind-numbing, to say the least, in the airplane. At least for with Chi-Chi with Goku, there was more space. But Yamcha couldn't help but whistle in a tune in defiance to the awkward silence. Finally landing next to an elongated line leading into a building, the entire crew milled out of the aircraft. Soon after they arrived, a strange-looking spirit passes next to them. Are you all here together for the fortune of the fortune teller Baba? Yes, ma'am. Sir. Oops. Person. *T. Ghost? Laughing quite creepily, the Wisp didn't respond to Bulma's blunder and just told the crew to stay in line and wait. All the people in the line were exaggeratedly muscular with intimidating gazes etched across their brow. They looked like trained bodybuilders the way they started to flex their muscles when new arrivals came in. What's with all these muscular guys waiting in line? Are you sure this isn't a bodybuilding gym or something and not a fortune-telling shop? Yeah. Everyone here is like muscular peacocks, ready to show their muscles on a moment's notice. Krillin and Yamcha felt like they were waiting in the line of the World Martial Arts Tournament just by feeling the heavy pressure that was asserted by the people in front of them. Before they could indulge in their worries more, a rich-looking couple walked out of the house looking quite smug and happy. So that's where I left my solid gold, diamond-embroiled Gucci purse with a Belle Delphine engravings on it. I might have just killed myself if I couldn't find my ancestral heirloom, let alone what our friends would have done if they found out we lost it. I know, right? They would have ghosted us and called us fake. My reputation would not be able to stand it. The couple laughed at their fortune for knowing a fortune teller and left to find their family heirloom. I don't know, those people don't seem like fighters to me, although I do question their sanity. Everyone couldn't have agreed more. Even Rashi and Oolong would not refute that fact. Alright, next in line. The soft whispers of the wisp entered everyone's ears, telling the next group to come. The soft voice was instantly drowned out by the vigorous yelling that the fighters in the front were proclaiming. No sooner than 5 minutes, they walked back out looking like they were involved in a brutal murder scene. No one was spared as they all had gauzes or canes to help them with their injuries as they left the house with an extreme look of injustice. Everyone in the crew started to sweat profusely, instantly regretting their life choices. Oolong even started to pee in his pants, but no one really noticed it with the grotesque amount of sweat he leaked out. Next, the previous soft voice now sounded like a voice from hell that was calling upon their doom to enter hell. Everyone's legs were stiff, scared to move one more step, thinking that they were going to throw the gauntlet and wind up beat up like those that came before. Of course, the only ones that were more nonchalant were Master Rashi and Goku. They nodded to each other before dragging the rest towards the entrance. They soon were presented before an old granny levitating on a crystal orb. The instant that they had eye contact with each other, Rashi and Baba could be seen having sparks flying through the air like they were tangible. Brother, I see that you are still the old bag of bones of pervertedness incarnate. Rashi, to prove her point, was staring at the bottom of the blue launch that accompanied them halfway through the journey to Baba's shop. Looking back at her and her establishment, he instantly fired back. You are still the old hag that will haggle people of their money with your greed. The sibling relationship was as great as one could hope for. Alright, lust and greed, enough of your antics. Can we go back to the matter at hand? Locating an object. Goku's words awoke everyone from their fear. They felt quite ashamed that they were showing fear in front of an old granny like Baba, but were quite thick-skinned about it. You want me to locate an object? 10 million zeni up front. 10 million. Everyone jumped in fright at the price tag that was offered. Everyone except Bulma, of course. I can pay for it, but how do I know that you are real and not a scam? Humph. Doubting my abilities in my own establishment? If you're rich, just test me then. Bulma's skeptical nature towards the mystical arts got the better of her. She reached into her back pocket to grab her wallet. Inside it, she took out a silver card and gave it to the floating granny. Sorry, I don't accept card. Only cash. Baba was rubbing her 2 fingers in a money-grubbing motion. Grumbling, Bulma rang up her household so that her dad could deliver money to her. Rang after rang, Bulma suddenly remembered something. Her face instantly transformed into one of shock and disbelief. Goku, I just remembered my father. Did you see him? It was Goku's turn to feel regret and shame. He was so focused on the timeline that he completely forgot the changes that he made. In fact, he didn't even check who he killed in the buildings. We need to go back and check. He probably was sent to a special facility because of his status, so he has a high chance of being alive. Looks like we will have to postpone getting the final Dragon Ball. Not necessarily, we can split into 2 teams, one who can get the Dragon Ball and the other to find Dr. Briefs. For all we know, Dr. Briefs might be also in the hands of the person who has the other Dragon Ball. Master Rashi refuted Krillin and suggested going to 2 teams. But we will waste a lot of time going to get the money needed in the first place. You don't only need money to get clairvoyance reading from me. This time, Baba refuted Chi-Chi's reasonable claim and pursued her own agenda. You will fight against 5 fighters. If you win all of them, I will give you a reading on what you need. Everyone took her words into consideration and the risk of splitting the team would hold. Goku saw his chance to redeem himself. I will stay and fight alone. You guys are going to need all the eyes and fighters you need in case the enemy is stronger than expected. On the other hand, could fail and still try again later or pay later. Are you sure you can do this? I doubt that this will be a walk in the park. Goku himself is enough. I will stay and help him. Oolong voiced his concern, but Rashi again voiced his opinion. Everyone looked at Rashi in surprise, including Baba. She was having an increasing interest in the young man before her. All right, we will go our separate ways. Good luck, Goku. Everyone said goodbye to Goku and Rashi and left in their airplane. Baba led the turtle hermit practitioners to the stadium to face his new adversaries. Fall into the lake and you lose. Since it is you by yourself, you will face opponent after opponent until you drop or die. You don't have any confidence that I will win? Nope. She popped the pea in an aggravating manner to really show her stance. She called up her first fighter to the stadium by the name of Dracula Man. A bat flew into the stadium from the castle. He then transformed into a very skinny man with boxing gloves and sharp teeth. His bones that show and pale skin made one skin crawl just by looking at him. Battle begin. Goku. Dracula Man could transform into a bat, increasing his speed and can suck your blood. Rashi was giving Goku advice so he wouldn't get blindsided. After all, this was a 5v1, so it was only fair. Goku got into an aggressive stance and threw a flurry of punches towards Dracula Man. As if the boxing gloves were just decoration, Dracula Man only dodged. Soon enough, he couldn't take the pressure anymore. Once he saw an opening, he retreated and turned back into a bat. With his enhanced speed, he flew circles around Goku, who was trying to keep track of him. Dracula then appeared behind Goku with his mouth wide open and ready to suck some delicious blood. Just as Dracula clamped down, the figure of Goku faded out of existence. The forcefulness of Dracula's chomp came back to bite him as his teeth vibrated from the harsh impact. Goku took this chance and swung behind him to launch a fist to Dracula's head. Dracula flipped a few times before landing on the lake face first. Next, Goku felt the impatience well inside him. He really wanted help in the search to find Dr. Briefs, and he felt like it was his responsibility to take care of him. Baba only snorted at Goku's arrogant attitude. Let's see him keep that attitude at the last fight. Calling in the next fighter, Goku could only hear footsteps approach him, and it came to a sudden stop a short space in front of him. Battle begin. Goku. This is the Invisible Man. Don't rely on your sight as you fight him. Knowing that this was another way to hone his senses, Goku closed his eyes. Rashi silently approved Goku's decision to make this fight another way to get stronger. Goku could hear the very soft footsteps of the Invisible Man as he approached to attack. Each fist sent out followed a small gust of wind that disturbed the air around him. Moving in discretion to these small irregularities, Goku dodged his first punch. Everyone stood still for a second, not believing what they were seeing. The Invisible Man was beet red from the embarrassment that his attack missed. Not that anyone would know. Invisible Man then did a sweep kick followed by another kick toward Goku's sternum. Goku dodged both attacks and sent a fist of his own, landing it squarely on the opponent's chest. Seeing that her fighter is at a disadvantage, Baba started singing. All the class in the vicinity started to break from the horrible singing that was projected from her mouth. What Baba didn't know that Goku wasn't only using sound to perceive the movement of his enemy. He was actually using a form of ki sensing to see. The Invisible Man Baba's horrendous voice was shoved in the back of Goku's mind as he jumped and accurately landed a kick right on the Invisible Man's chest. He flew past the lake and skidded across the dirt. Opening his eyes, he stared straight at Baba with determination in his eyes. Next,